calling this meeting to order. Please stand for a moment of silence and the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, the mission of Tyler County Schools is to provide student-centered learning opportunities that ensure all students will learn to their potential and master the skills, ethical behaviors, and attitudes needed to be successful citizens in a 21st century economy. Roll call. I believe we're all present and accounted for. Approval of the minutes of the September 16th, 2024 regular meeting. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Diana made the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, does anybody have any comments or corrections to the minutes? Okay, so let's vote on approval of the minutes. All those in favor of accepting the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
I'm abstaining. Wasn't here.
Huh?
I wasn't here.
Oh, okay. Larry is abstaining from approval because he was not here for the minutes, for that meeting. Okay, so on to presentations. Melinda Walton, new attendance policy.
Hello.
Hello.
Did everybody get in your packet? I think Mrs. Roberts put some things in there about the attendance, the new attendance policy. Get in the email. Did you guys get a chance to look at that? Okay. So what I did, I wanted to just put a few things in there so that you guys could see what we're doing and things that we're trying to do better. And the attendance policy isn't, I don't think the changes are to be more difficult for people and to make attendance more difficult. It's a proactive way to improve attendance. And for example, I've been doing a weekly post on Facebook. It's just a little bit of a blurb of like why you should focus on your attendance and what good attendance does for kids. And so that's one thing that we've been doing. And then the communities and school staff, I think you guys probably know them because they've been at board meetings, but Leanne Butcher is our Sistersville Elementary, Joe Astury is the middle school, and Aaron Heasley is Borman Elementary. And I cannot say enough about the three of them. Every day they are very involved going through the daily attendance list along with other people in their building. Each building has a small team. Generally, it's the secretary who gets the attendance. It's the communities and schools person. Often they include me in that. The principal and usually the nurse is on the team because the nurse often knows things that we don't know. So they're checking, they're following up, they're asking, they're looking at other schools, they're talking among themselves. You know, I have this sibling out, do you have that sibling out? And we're just trying to be proactive, making phone calls, reaching out. There's a lot of positive postcards and positive calls that are going out to just encourage kids to come to school. Where you probably are hearing is that there used to be 42 codes. So we had a list of 42 codes when someone missed. And you could go in and look and see what matched up. That list of 42 codes is now 14 codes. So our secretaries have had to reduce that down and try to find what matches. And more so than changing the attendance policy, they're looking at chronic absenteeism compared to truancy. And chronic absenteeism is if you miss 18 or more days, 10% of the school year. And just for your information, I ran that report, and last school year, Borman had 45 out of 289 kids that were missed 18 or more days. That is excused and unexcused. That's just 18 or more days, no matter what. Sistersville had 61 out of 273. The middle school had 79 out of 264, and the high school had 76 out of 289. We had 261 kids, which is equivalent to Tyler Consolidated Middle School's entire student body that missed 18 or more days of school. And just a month of school was 16 days, generally. So we have more than 261 kids miss more than a month of their education. Now, there are kids in there that's legit. You know, they have things going on, but I would say of that 261, 200 of them are not legit, well, probably 240 of them are not legitimate. So that's what the state is really focusing on, focusing on kids who are chronically absent. And you are absent if you're not receiving instruction. If you're on a field trip with the FFA, that is not absent. You are counted as receiving instruction. Educational leave used to be you could get a paper and get it filled out, and you could go to the beach for a week and you would get educational leave, and it wouldn't count against your instructional time. They have completely eliminated that. That's not even an option anymore because it was becoming out of hand. There were families taking 3 and 4 weeks at a time.
That's a state thing, right?
Yes, the entire state got rid of that. So it definitely is a problem, but then we have other kids who miss 2 days of school. So there's a lot of those kids too. So we do have a lot of kids that do take their attendance very serious. I will say our principals do a fabulous job, mostly the middle high school, not that the elementary doesn't, they just don't have as much. They encourage their kids to get involved in something, in band, a sport, because then they're held accountable for being there after school. And I think if I go through the chronic absentee list, very few of them are involved kids. Usually they're the kids that are less involved, or it may be involved in something that's during the school day, not being held accountable for a practice. So that's where the main focus is. I also have a lot of support from our prosecutor's office right now. I've had 27 truancy hearings since August 17th, I think was our first round, and that was based on last school year's attendance. What we did is we ran those in May. I set up 27 meetings for when school opened. That way it encourages people to come to school this school year. And generally what happens, she has a very nice meeting, myself and her, and she basically tells them, we can forego this fine if you come to school with no unexcused absences for 6 months. Now you gotta think about no unexcused absences. That sounds hard. They get 10 parent notes a year, so that's 5 each semester, plus a medical note is excused. Death in the family, we give kids 3 days for that. That's excused. Your bus doesn't run, that's excused. If you have to go to court for something, that's excused. So it's not an unexcused day. So that really isn't a difficult thing to do. And she brings you back at 3 months, and if you have no unexcused absences, she continues it for the next 3 months, and then she dismisses it. Generally, that's exactly what we do. Otherwise, if they do not, then she charges them a fine. She doesn't want to charge people. I think it's $100 plus $175 court cost. So I don't see the point in that, just putting something else stressful over top of somebody. And we do encourage the kids to come so that we can talk to them about, why are you missing? And honestly, it's never really a good reason. They just don't want to get up and get to school, or the younger kids, the adult doesn't want to get up and get them to school. That's 99% of what we're dealing with. The attendance policy also addresses homelessness, and just so you guys know, we do have, I think, 16 kids this year on our homeless list, but when you think of homeless and what that really means, that could be a family is doubled up and living, mom and dad and 2 kids are living with their grandparents. Maybe they're having an economic hardship for some reason, so they doubled up and lived with the grandparents. Those kids are considered homeless. If you have a fire today, automatically everybody in that house, the kids become homeless. And we do have funds, but we work really well. Our social workers, communities and school staff, they work really well. I think Jill would tell you through the FRN, I think we all kind of come together and we talk about what can we do and how can we help one another. King's Corner is fabulous to help us with beds. So it's a community thing, but we do support those kids, but it's not homeless like the word you think, homeless. Each school is required to have a system of support. I definitely think that's going on in all our schools. It's going on with the communities and schools people, but I think attendance is very important, and I think we're doing a very good job at all the schools. Our secretaries are phenomenal at entering the information. If anyone ever tells you they sent their excuses in and nobody, nope, they didn't get entered, I'm gonna tell you that's probably not true. They do make human error, but we have outstanding secretaries entering that. Trying to think what else. I think that the number of chronic, just, and also for your information, when I'm doing attendance, I ran our report. We haven't officially submitted everything, but this is what is going to be submitted. Is our Borman is at 270, Sistersville is at 233, middle school is 310, high school is 368. So our overall total is 1,181 students this school year. So trying to think if there's anything I haven't covered. Are there questions based on what you're hearing or what you?
Do you get numbers like where do we fall in the line of counties in the state
For attendance?
chronic absences?
I think that we do have too many chronic absences, but overall, we are usually in the, on a daily rate, I'm gonna say we're about 96% of students are attending.
Yeah.
The ones that are causing the chronic, they're just, it's the same ones missing over and over and over again. And the state, it used to be, like if a kid moved, we couldn't drop them from our attendance until we received a request, even if it was Ritchie County. If the parent didn't go enroll them, didn't do the process, we could ride out with that kid for 2 weeks and be counted against us. I did a webinar this afternoon, and there is a way now for us to drop that, but we still have to be tracking the kid. The purpose of that is safety, so that someone just doesn't move their kid and we say, well, they said they went to Ritchie County. Like, we know they enrolled at Ritchie County Middle School, so then we can point them in the right direction. That's the same way with out of state. It's really messy in the beginning of the school year because a lot of schools don't start till after Labor Day. So we might start the 20th, and so we're riding 10, 12 days with kids counting against us who we never did see them. But that never changes. They still ride out on our attendance report. So there's a lot of those little things that go on too. Homebound, that's not counted against a student. If they're homebound, we work with the family. Sometimes we start immediately. Sometimes Mr. Morse put one out today. We have a student having a surgery tomorrow. We know she's going to be out for a few weeks, so we try to get ahead of it and start that kind of thing. Any other questions? This is what I will say. I would encourage you, if anyone ever comes and complains about the attendance, I would encourage you to send them first to the secretary to check that out, then to the principal, then to me, because the story is deeper than what you may be. So,
Thank you.
yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and next in presentations, we are having a presentation from the band. Champion band.
College visit.
Okay. We are a few of the members of the Silver Knights Marching Band, and we're here to discuss some of the things we do, how hard we work, and some events upcoming in the next month. I'm Karamia McCoy, and I've been a member of the marching band for about 5 years. And we do a lot with the community, including parents, students, younger siblings. We go to multiple parades within a year, the Halloween parades, the alumni parades, almost every football game, unless they're 4 hours away. And we play other things for the community, like we'll host some jazz concerts in the spring. We've also been rehearsing marching since July, so we're all pretty worn out. We'll start rehearsing jazz band and concert band after the marching season's over. These ensembles will perform and be adjudicated at festivals. And we will also start doing pep band for the basketball games. And the wrestling team. We started that last year. I'll let Katie talk.
Okay. Hi, I'm Katie Ash, and I'm a senior member of the band. We competed at the PHS Big Red Marching Band Competition on Saturday, September 28th, and tied for 4th place overall. This past weekend, we competed at the Ripley Viking Festival, won grand champions overall. So, upcoming, we have 2 more competitions this season: the Philip Barber Horseshoe Classic in Philippi and the West Virginia Marching Band Invitational in Charleston. We look to have an ongoing successful season with the band, And I'd like to personally thank the board for their support of the music programs at Tyler Consolidated.
I'm Celine Holcomb. Several of our members of the band are also auditioning for All-State on December 7th. And later in the year, they'll be auditioning for Region 1 Honor Band and WVU Honor Band. Many of our kids auditioned last year for All-State, and we had 5 kids go, which is a pretty big number for All-State, because you're competing with hundreds of kids all throughout the state. We will also start rehearsing for solo and ensemble, where multiple trios, duets, solos, quartets, ensembles, etc. will be adjudicated, and if you get a 1 on your whatever performance you're doing, you could submit a recording to the WVMEA Association and be an honor performance at the WVMEA conference in March. So overall, we really work hard to be as successful and competitive as we can be, and hopefully we will continue to be. So we just wanted to thank you guys and the county for the support that you give us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And congratulations on being the grand champions. That's
That solo
Thank
has
you.
been among us too.
Jeremy
was the best
Oh,
soloist out of 19.
congratulations.
So,
That's
couldn't have
very
done it
nice.
without the help of my
That's
band.
wonderful.
and
We're
you
so
guys.
proud of you guys. You represent us
Thank
so
you.
well.
Thank you.
Did we get a picture of them under the logo?
Oh, yes. Come over
Did you
here.
say you were proud to coming up down
Yes.
at
Yeah.
WVU? Have you ever been in that one before?
It's the one in Charleston, yeah.
Okay.
It's the state.
Super Bowl,
We're
right?
gonna
Is that what
Yeah.
it's called?
tallest.
Mom, do you want to get a picture?
I'll have her dad send it to me.
Again, thanks
For listening.
Thank you.
Okay, I will do that.
You're allowed to.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
I've never seen anybody that nervous.
that was really great. And I think I read on the post on Facebook, wasn't it out of 19, I think it was 19 bands. That's really impressive. Okay, next we need to, I need a motion to go into executive session regarding student control number 09-19-24W under item 3 as per the school laws of West Virginia 6-9A-4. The disciplining, suspension, or expulsion of any student in any public school or public college or university unless such student requests an open meeting. Do I have that motion?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, Andy made the motion to go into executive session. Do I have a second? Diana seconded. We'll take a vote on that. All those in favor of going into executive session, say aye. Aye. Okay, those opposed? Okay, the ayes have it. I'll need everybody that is not part, everybody?
Everybody except for Mr. Ward.
Okay,
And time in would be 7:18 or 7.
yes,
Show them
that will work.
where they.